So today I have a special guest with me, a friend who has helped me a ton behind the scenes with me on projects, the Huntress.
Hello.
She's an older Toribash player that flew under the radar for the most part, right?
I guess, yeah. I just like playing a single-player mode mostly. I don't participate that much in the community, unfortunately.
Is there a reason for that?
It's the internet. I don't know. I did participate at one point, but it proved to be a little traumatic at times, for lack of a better word. So, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I get what I need out of the game, I guess, and the rest I just never needed per se.
No.
Yeah.
When did you first start playing Toribash?
I mean, I was around during the Skype days.
Wow. Okay.
Which all youngins know about the Skype days. No, I've been playing since like 2012, on and off.
What kind of stuff do you do?
A little bit of everything. Probably not the best, but yeah, a little bit of everything. I haven't really touched the realism community though, and it's just because it's a little daunting.
How so?
I mean, it looks cool, and you know, I just haven't really explored my competitive side as much on this game. I like to like make stuff and be creative more, but you know, I do know there's some area for overlap with, you know, the competitive MMA realism and the kind of creative side of anime realism. I've seen Chev's stuff, big fan, shout out to Chev. Yeah.
Well, in the MMA community, you're making people feel the pain. There's a level of creativity to that, you know. I
guess we'll see. Maybe one day.
So how did you first get into Toribash?
How did I first get into Toribash? I think it was like my brother was always playing it, and I often watch and make these like these little replays on it. And he didn't have anyone to play with, so I'd hop on the family computer and play with him online. That became our thing, our bonding time, if you will. And eventually he stopped, but I kept going because I thought it was pretty fun. And yeah, here I am, I guess.
I hear that story a lot, you know, a friend or a sibling plays the game and so they pull you on. And Toribash, in my opinion, is more fun, at least at the very start, when you can pull another person to reliably mess around on the game with. And I feel people learn faster that way because there's no pressure to best a stranger on the internet. It's just you or a friend, you know, or family figuring it out.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good therapy tool. Beefing with family or friends, settle on Toribash. At the start, you can strangle each other, but eventually the match will go on so long, you'll just end up talking it out. But you know, you go back to strangling each other proudly later. So
we've known each other for quite some time, yeah?
Yes.
What would you say is your funniest memory of our time knowing each other on this game?
Matafu. It's gotta be Matafu. Okay, guys, so Matarika wanted to create a sort of like martial arts realism style on Toribash, predating mass martial arts sparring by a little less than a year. It was like a little less than a year before martial arts sparring mass, and like Mata wasn't that good, at least not good enough to replicate martial arts in a way that wasn't like goofy as hell. So he puts out this Matafu video, and the whole community clowns him so bad that the moderators had to step in on the forums to like stop it.
Those were dark times.
A lot of people had it out for you.
No, I mean, most of it was justified, I'd say.
Yeah, you were a little shithead.
No, I was. I mean, when I started to get into video making and modding at the time, I thought I was a lot better than I was, but like, confidence is everything, right? But yeah, no. I actually wasn't as good as I thought I was at the time, and much better modders and video makers would slide into the comments to sort of check me and let me know that.
I remember Tizzy and Oggins were ripping you to shreds like every single week. Then like Sibo and like Pubic Sibo and a few others.
There's a clan. There was like a whole clan that was after me, but I can't remember the name. Anyway, I was annoying and cocky growing up on this game, so I got what I deserved for the most part.
You don't think some of them were a little harsh?
In some cases, but water under the bridge at this point, you know.
You should bring back Matafu.
I will not be bringing back Matafu. That can rest in peace. So you've seen the Toribash community go through, you know, many changes and evolutions. In your opinion, do you think Toribash could ever be a popular game again?
Yes and no. I don't think Toribash, at least this current version of Toribash, can ever be a popular game. Maybe a popularly viewed game because of how untouchable this idea is, and I don't think it can be successfully replicated. But I don't think this version of Toribash can ever be popularly played because it's just so damn hard. We've talked about this before, and I think maybe the game could see a moderate bump in activity if the game UI had a proper built-in tutorial as well as a properly fleshed out tutorial system. Maybe even, user-made tutorials that are in the game. I know you can make your own tutorials, but it's not very user-friendly at all, so that's just another thing on top where it just people struggle with. And I can't, and maybe the mod maker UI getting a modern update, but I can't imagine many other things you could revamp or fix on the game to make people look past its difficulty. Maybe one other thing, and that is 4-player multiplayer, which is by far the best part of Toribash Next, but the rest of the game feels unfinished or broken, like a Toribash dream where, things feel similar and familiar, but something's missing and you don't realize it until you return to playing Toribash and you're like, oh, like fucking everything. But 4-player multiplayer would be huge. Anything that increases the connectedness of the community, and getting 4 people to consistently come on to play the game together would improve player activity as well as fix one of the major unattractive things about this game, and that is its match length.
I mean, that's very true. I mean, there is a lot of possibilities there with 4-person multiplayer, better in-game tutorials, stuff like that, but there is only one Sir, and he's got a lot on his plate, and I'm sure a lot would be possible with more development help, but you can only do so much with a limited team and limited funding.
Toribash definitely needs funding, and honestly, I feel like it's got to be out there. This game's so old, so that may harm its chances of companies taking a risk on funding. But like I said before, Toribash and the concept of Toribash cannot be easily replicated, I don't think. And if a company took a chance on this game, fronted some money to expand it into something greater, I think that would be a wise investment, considering how this genre isn't very competitive.
So you think a company should invest funding into Toribash?
Yes. Into Nabi, but I think that money should go towards hiring 1 to 2 more strong developers to maybe take another whack at a new Toribash. Should Toribash Next be revisited? Possibly, but it released like undercooked chicken. Like, it looks like chicken on the outside, but take a bite and maybe even tastes like chicken, but after a while sitting with it, something's not gonna feel right, and people were let down, and gaining trust back after that launch will cost money in itself, and it begs the question if they should just start all over again, but with a larger team and more funding.
To stay standing in this game is more than half the challenge, and there is one easy feature that could fix that, and that is magnetic feet or grab feet. The realism community has been playing around with this feature, and it's the best thing I've ever seen.
That's smart as hell. Yeah, I hadn't seen that. I played a stick figure flipping game that had a button you press that stuck your feet to the ground so you could land a flip. That's a perfect feature for the issue here.
It could be an option in the mod, just like grabbing, just grab the ground with your feet and you'll be able to throw punches, kicks, land a flip, run without falling over, using grab hands to climb in parkour looks janky, but it's helped a lot of beginners learn how to climb. This would be just like that, but for balancing, which arguably is a larger issue for people than climbing. More tutorials, feet sticking to the ground, and continue to improve UI accessibility.
Yeah, that's it really. I mean, those 3 things alone could solve dozens of popular complaints about the steep skill curve of Toribash.
Okay, we're gonna wrap this up in a second after one more question.
Let's hear it, Matafu.
Can you shut the fuck up? What is your favorite thing about Toribash? Like, why do you play it, and why should others?
I wish I could say the community, but I'm not in it as much. But before I say my answer, I will give a shout out to the community. It's not perfect, and it can get ugly at times, and I can see why some people may hate it, but nothing brings people closer together than shared trauma and shared suffering. And to be honest, there's a lot of that while trying to improve on Toribash. But to segue that into my real reason, everyone's trauma and suffering is unique here because you suffer in the way that you want to suffer on this game and as much as you want to. And your identity and what you become is truly up to you. As much as, my favorite thing about this game is the accountability of it all. Whatever you put into this game, whatever type of you're on, whatever time you're willing to put into it, however social you wish to be, however creative you are, or whatever real life experiences you bring to the table, you're going to see the results, you're going to see the consequences, you're going to see the outcome in this simulation and in this community. And having complete control over that is both the most frustrating and freeing thing ever, because people realize things about their discipline and their attention span, and that's pretty cool how this game tests you in that way. So I guess it's that, Toribash isn't one thing. It's an economy, it's a community, it's a sandbox, it's a fighting game, it's a shitty 3D modeling program, it's a simulation, it's a test, it's a puzzle, it's an escape, it's an opportunity. And that's why it's so damn interesting.
Well said. Thank you so much for coming on to talk with us today.
Of course, yeah. Time to go back into hiding, I guess.
No, you should talk more. It was a pleasure picking your brain. The Huntress is pretty cool, guys, and she has a lot of experience and wisdom, so hit her up sometime.
I'll probably answer.
This is Matarika and the Huntress.
Thank you. Bye, guys.